Okay, so we're going to do a little check-in on the Ukraine situation and just see where we're at, what's coming, what we got going on. Random word speedball random number 74. All right. Root card of the Five of Cups. So we have a Chariot. We're just going to look where it's coming from, where it's going. Fascinating. So I am going to have to look a little closer at this Hangman, but we'll take a look at what we got so far. So our root card, Five of Cups. So the old married couple, the emotional link that has been too close for too long and they're over it, communication breakdown. Now, the interesting thing in the five, these two cups are still standing after they knock the other ones over. So there's like a purity to their connection. They can probably never actually be disconnected, right? But right now, there's just a communication breakdown, emotional turbulence, and all of that. So that makes sense. It is important to note that these two energies, being Russia and Ukraine, I'm assuming, um, they're always going to be connected. They're like a married couple, so they're never going to be able to rid themselves of each other. All right. So the Chariot in the center. The Chariot is very specific goal-oriented movement. So in the Chariot, I mean, there's also like tanks rolling in, right? And that's pretty much what we have here in the Chariot. But the Chariot has a very specific goal and is moving toward it. Now, where does this energy come from? The Judgment card is when the final decision is made, and for better or worse, you can just move on with your life. This would imply some sort of a big final decision, and I don't think that that decision would be a peaceful one. Just because of how much the Chariot is looking to me like a tank in this situation. So, where does it move toward? The Hanged Man. Now, there's a few different ways to read this, but at its core, the Hanged Man is basically like calling a timeout, right? And trying to see a matter from another perspective. Now, if you look at the Hanged Man in that way, then this would be a positive thing. As the energy is moving toward kind of a halt in the attack, you would think, and sort of gaining a different perspective. Now, the clock is really sticking out the little watch that he's got dangling from his feet. So, this might be about waiting for a specific time. And if that's the case, the decision has already been made, but they just have to wait for a very specific time. Let's just find out more about the Hanged Man here. Um, and if it's more of a literal thing where, people get hanged, like hopefully that's not the case, but let's just find out. Page of Swords. So this is the Swords family. They are the militant group, but I'm pretty sure we're talking about the time here. And you see, like, the Page of Swords, as I drop the card, at least, he's very specifically looking at this little watch over here. And the Page of Swords is also temporary energy. This is not commitment. So it wouldn't show a commitment to a standstill. This is just waiting for a very specific moment. Now we'll pull a card to see sort of what comes out of this. The King of Pentacles. This doesn't surprise me the most, but the King of Pentacles is basically the wise investor. This is like the businessman. It means that whatever is happening or about to happen would have serious financial motivation behind it. Now, I'm going to put another card to find out. I mean, because you would assume that the King of Pentacles would be like Vladimir Putin and the oligarchs and that sort of thing, but maybe it isn't. I mean, there are definitely hidden forces at work in this, so let's see what we have. Okay, so in the Five of Pentacles, now this could be either one of these two parties now that I look at this, but in the Five of Pentacles, this person is rich in this life and they're about to die, right? They're about to go through the portal to the next world. And they're afraid to lose all of the shit that they've gained here. So they're really resisting the change. So if you throw it all together, there is like the King of Pentacles is already rich. And this is what they're doing um, pretty much to try to stay that way. Now, I do want to look more at this because is this a fucking huge attack? Is that what they're waiting for? Or is this some other shit? So let's just find out what they're waiting for. The Six of Cups makes an appearance once again in the readings about this situation. I was just thinking about the Six of Cups earlier today, actually. And the Six of Cups is about memory and the way that you remember things. It can really talk about old wounds. Now, we have the puppet show, the theater, and there's the good guy and the bad guy. This kind of hints at telling the story. And I know that that's been a theme in these readings as well. And some of the readings have hinted at, like, the whole purpose behind all of this is the story. It's like for the story to be formed and the story to be told. That's almost like fulfilling a prophecy, you know? Or it could be just about creating a worldwide narrative to fucking brainwash every person on the earth. Um, Maybe they're not different. So the way that I would read this, I'm not aware of any prophecies, but maybe other people are. And I don't live in Ukraine, I don't live in Russia. So if there, I would love to hear if there like is a prophecy that would be involved in this whole situation. Because if that's true, then they're very determined to fulfill it. It was a decision that was recently made, and it looks like it's also a way that the rich get to stay that way. And there has to be a specific moment. I'm okay. Now I have to pull one more card to find out if this is an event or like what the clock is talking about here. So if it's a number, we get a 10. The Ten of Cups is about the happy reunited family. And here the soldier returns from war. So, and then the family's so happy to be together that they're all just, being happy. Now, this could be because this is the same couple, right? Um, so this would be a reuniting of everyone happily. If there is a such thing as a prophecy involving this, because I don't know, I would love to hear about that. But that's what we get on our current read for Ukraine. A decision was made, very specific movement, and it's like waiting for the exact moment in order to tell a specific story. Okay, so that's what we get. I would love to hear any thoughts on this, and peace.